Morning. Welcome to the class of computer architecture. We have been discussing in our last classes about the different types of memories, and also we have introduced some primary information about the cache memory. Let us today have some extra knowledge about that cache memory. As you know, that cache memory is a kind of a buffer memory between the high speed processor and the slow speed hard disks or the memories, where we store our all the data and information for their future references or for their future processings. Say the CPU is from its inception always faster than the hard disk or the memory. Or we may explain this that the access time that hard disk provides to the CPU is always slower than the speed of the processing of that CPU. This creates a kind of a hurdle, or this creates a kind of a interruption between the all processing functions. The CPU, even then, it is faster than the memory, it lacks the real performance. So the solution created here is that we inserted a high-speed memory in between the CPU and the hard disk. That provision of high-speed memories are the reason for the creation of these cache memories. Cache memories acts as a buffer memory. It provides a high-speed accessibility of the data and the instructions from the hard disk to the processor. See, all this happening can be graphically analyzed like this, that CPU is much faster. When it processes any information or when it functions for any processing, it fetches its data and instructions from the hard disk. Now, hard disk provide much slower accessibility. Suppose we have a CPU speed of 10 to the power minus 12 nanosecond. When it fetches the data from this hard disk, that speed becomes very slower. Now, hard disk may provide their accessibility of any data with the speed of 10 to the power minus 5 or even less. Now, the actual performance of CPU becomes with synchronizes with the speed of the hard disk. Now here, to solve this lacuna, we have inserted one buffer memory in between CPU and the hard disk, and that is called cache memory. It acts like a buffer. It stores all that relevant blocks that is currently executing from the hard disk and provides much faster accessibility to the processor. Now, this cache memory, the concept of this cache memory, the speed discrepancy, between the different components of the computer is very prevalent in every part of this entire computer set or the system. So, we have utilized this concept of buffering or this concepts of cache memories between the various components at various levels in very abundance. But that also created a kind of a complexity in the entire designing and architecture of this system. So we have introduced a new kind of system that is called spooling. This is spooling. The word is spool. It is an abbreviation, and it stands for simultaneous peripheral operations online. That means, let us have a graphical representation. If we create a block diagram of the computer system, we have a processor. That processor gets its all instructions from some input device. And after processing, it presents to some output device. Now, this CPU has various elements on its board. It has a processing unit, it has a memory unit, and it has a control unit. Apart from this, this processor on its board has some memory units as in forms of registers, different kinds of registers. Now, what happens when it processes? Either it takes its information or the inputs from input devices or from hard disk. This input devices may include the keyboards, or it may include that hard disk. If it fetches its information from hard disk, it first stores these informations via RAM. It fetches from RAM to these registers. But the registers which is on the board of that CPU have very limited space. They can store the data or any information in a very limited capacity. Of course, that registers are the fastest storage devices that directly provides their access to the CPU, and there is a minimum delay in that accessibility. But these devices have very limited scope to store all kinds of information and data. So CPU in that case heavily gets dependent on that RAM, but the speed of the RAM is even slower than the speed of the processing of the CPU. So in between that RAM and the CPU, we have created that buffer memory, that is high speed accessible memories. As cache memories, and that provides the direct information or instructions to that CPU. Now, such arrangement of a high speed direct accessible memories as a buffer memory, as a cache memory, can be implemented with the other components of the system, as this also requires when a CPU produces an output and the output devices or the machine produces that results in a much slower speed than that the processing output. So we may have to implement such cache memory or that buffer memory in between that output device and the CPU also. It may be implemented in between that input devices also. In such arrangement, the entire architecture or the buses of the system may get very complex. So we introduced a new kind of a system that is called spooling. In spooling, we have provided such arrangements in a very shared order. In spooling arrangement, we provide a kind of a space as a buffer memory or as a cache memory, which is shareable by most of the devices or most of the components that is attached with this entire computer system. In such arrangement, input device which is connected with a CPU and CPU with the output may have a buffer memory as cache memory where an input device may be connected to this buffer memory, and this buffer memory may again be connected with this output device. Now, in this case, all that information or data that has to be presented to the processor first get stored in this common high-speed memory, from where the CPU receives or gets that information in a direct accessible manner, and when it completes its processing, it again stores that output into that common shareable memory space, and that shareable memory space is also again accessed by that output device. And in such simultaneously accessible common shareable space of this buffer arrangement creates a very smooth and orderly processing functions. So such arrangement is known as spooling. Cache memory stores its entire information and data into two forms. A cache memory normally stores data in the forms of different blocks. That blocks represents the information or data that is stored into the hard disk for a particular set of the informations, and that blocks are again identified by the different kinds of tags. So whenever a processor has to access a particular information or particular block of the information, it first recognizes the availability of the particular tag into that cache memory. When that tag is found in that cache memory, it is known as, this phenomena is known as cache hit, and if it do not finds, it is known as the misses. The number of attempts that a CPU takes to find a particular information, and the number of chances or the number of events when it gets that tag into that cache memory is known, its hit ratio or the miss ratio. So the cache memory, if we sum up this cache memory, the concept of cache memory, the cache memory provides a kind of a buffer memory, that is a high speed memory. It provides a kind of a method where the interruption gets minimized. It provides a kind of a system that has the minimum interruption for the accessibility of the CPU. Thank you.